we're going to take the interview with Laura Ingraham where Representative Macy talks about what she's been going through, what she's been dealing with in reference to this. She's been getting death threats. Obviously, these people are not nice people. I mean, when we tell them, look, you can do whatever you want behind your closed doors. You want to dress up like this and be out, and hey, you do you. But don't enforce us to partake in it. And as of right now, they are really enforcing the Congress to partake in this charade. This person is a mental person. But we have to partake in this made up fantasy that this person has going on. It's insanity. Anyway, here is Macy and Laura Ingraham discussing her bill and how this thing is going to go and everything that she's been dealing with in reference to this.
That corresponds with his or her biology. Moronic woke terms that the left-wing loons have force-fed us for years, especially our kids in schools and colleges, they're not popular. People don't want to use them. But confirming that House Democrats have learned nothing after getting shellacked in November 5th election, they're going full steam ahead for biological men to use women's restrooms. But Congresswoman Nancy Mace is trying to put a stop to it. She introduced a new resolution requiring members and staffers to use the bathroom that corresponds with his or her biological sex. I can't believe this even has to be a thing. But the move comes as the first trans member of Congress, Sarah McBride, is set to take office.
Bullying a member of Congress. This is what we're doing? This is the lesson that you've drawn from the election in November? This is your priority, that you want to bully a member of Congress as opposed to welcoming her to join this body?
Before she go on, this guy really annoys me. He literally irks my nerves because if you pay attention to the way he converse and the way he's trying to pull out that Obama friend, you do not have the charisma of the Obama. Okay, you do not have that. And it really bugs me. What really bugs me is that this guy he's like the #1 in the Democrat Party right now, right? So at least in the House, he's the #1. And so because you're #1 in this space and you're a man, shouldn't you be looking to protect women in the body? You should be looking to protect women, not other men. This is why we, the women, have no respect for people like you, simpletons like you. We're going to talk more about Simpson later on, but this is a classic simpleton right here. Okay, this guy, Hakeem Jeffries, you should really be looking to protect women, not other men. That guy should be going to use your bathroom. And maybe you can help him out with his whatever business while y'all are in there, because it's obvious that you may play on that team. Just saying. Just saying.
Of course, as always, legacy media helps Democrats frame the issue as the nice people versus the mean people.
Speaker Johnson has said he wants to treat every new member with the words dignity and respect. Forcing this congressperson to go into a male restroom, is that dignity and respect?
Forcing women to share private spaces with men is not dignity and not respect.
And joining me now, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Congresswoman, great to see you. So as far as dignity and respect go, I'm wondering, Congresswoman, how have you been treated after introducing this resolution?
A very interesting question. So the height of hypocrisy, the height of gaslighting, they're threatening to kill me now because I, as a woman, am standing up to protect other women from men being in our private spaces, our restrooms, bathrooms, locker rooms, changing rooms, you name it. And so now they're threatening to kill me over this. I'm being bullied online. But what they forget is that, Laura, I'm the first woman to graduate from the Citadel. the Military College of South Carolina. I will not be bullied into silence. I will not back down. And in fact, I'm going to double down on this. And I'm going to file even more legislation to protect women beyond the Capitol, across every state in the nation. Because the simple question is, do women have rights or not? It's a very simple question.
Now,
before she goes on, that is absolutely the point. Our rights as women has literally been violated, you know? So men are men and women are women. And so having them in these private, intimate spaces, it's really, really uncomfortable. And I have said it many times. I've said it on here on YouTube. I've said it on the radio show when I'm on there. And I've said it in front of delegates that if I am ever in the space in the bathroom and I literally know that the person next to me is a man, I am not going to go by quietly. I will scream bloody hell, bloody murder, because my space is being invaded. I should not feel uncomfortable in any kind of way with a man in there. So the rights of women, my rights, being violated when there's a man in my bathroom. My rights are being violated when when we're in the bathroom and we're doing, you know, we're checking our makeup and we're doing this and we're peeing and we're doing, and there's an actual dude in there. I'm like, oh, I feel, because we don't have the same things in common. And so, yes, the women's space needs to be protected, and women needs to be protected. Our rights needs to be protected.
Rep-elect Sarah McBride responded to your resolution saying this is a blatant attempt from far right-wing extremists to distract from the fact they have no real solutions to what Americans are facing. We should be focused on bringing down the cost of housing, health care, child care, not manufacturing culture wars. Your response?
This is not manufactured. This is a person who's threatened to come into women's private spaces. And I'm a survivor of rape, sexual violence, and abuse. And I know how deeply vulnerable women are in places where we feel we have a right to privacy. And this is not okay. If you're a biological man, if you're born a man, you use the men's restroom. You don't invade our privacy. You don't come into women's private spaces. This is not a thing. I will die on this hill. It will not happen on my watch. This is a fight worth fighting for. And I'm going to fight to protect every woman in Congress, every staffer, every employee, every woman and girl across the country. They didn't learn anything from November 2 weeks ago. And women's issues were on the ballot, and conservatives are now feminists. It's wild. It's insane that this is even up for debate. It's not up for debate. And
well,
Sarah
one thing, yeah, I'm sorry, but one thing I know the left will say in response to what you just said is, well, it's horrific that you were subjected to any abuse or assault, any of it. But are you intimating that this new congressman-elect would somehow assault you in the bathroom? That would be the argument.
The idea of a man walking into a locker room where I'm changing is actually, it feels like assault. I am a victim. I have PTSD from the trauma that I have endured at the hands of a man. And I'm going to stand in the way solidly of any guy that wants to come into our spaces. And guess what? Sarah McBride doesn't get a say in this. And I'm not gonna succumb or be silenced by bullies online or by the radical left. They lost big. And I'm going to push back harder than ever before.
Congresswoman, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
So let me do this. So I'm wondering, does she have any other congresswomen on the Hill who is going to die on this hill with her? Because at this point, the women need to start banding together and rallying together. Like, she should not be the only one out here having conversations, putting this bill together. Like, she should have an army of them. They should be having press conferences with all of the women, like create their own, dare I say it, what's the other side do? The, what do they call themselves? The squad. So yeah, we should have a band of women squad, like all of the right women, all of the Republican women, and the men, like everybody standing strong and saying, yeah, we're not gonna let this happen. So Macy, good for her. And I'm really hoping to see other Congresswomen attach themselves to this to make a collaborative stance, because this is a women's issue across the board, and it does start in Washington D.C. because this is where the laws are made, the rules are made. So I'm glad this fight has come to D.C. so that they can start to implement what's going to happen to the rest of the world, or the country. So women's spaces in all of the states. It starts in DC. It starts with legislation. And I'm glad to see this, but I really want to see other women, like, I mean, I don't know where Marjorie Taylor Greene is, like they should be banding together. And Lauren Boebert, she should be up there. Anna Paulina Luna, all of these strong conservative women to be right there with her and saying, yep, we are feminists and we are going to stand together. We're going to fight for women. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.